Hare Krishna. Today we'll be discussing Srimad Bhagavad-Gita As It Is, Chapter 18, Text 11, Translation. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activity. Therefore it is said that he who renounces the fruit of action is one who has truly renounced. A person in Krishna consciousness acting in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna is always liberated. Therefore he does not have to enjoy or suffer the results of his acts after the death. Text 12 Translation. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable and mixed, occur after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such results to suffer or enjoy. A person in Krishna consciousness or in the mode of goodness does not hate anyone or anything which troubles his body. He does work in the proper place and at the proper time without fearing the troublesome effects of his duty. Such a person situated in transcendence should be understood to be most intelligent and beyond all doubts in his activities. Text 13 and 14 Translation. O mighty armed Arjuna, learn from me of the 5 factors which bring about accomplishment of all action. These are declared in Sankhya philosophy to be place of action, the performer, the senses, the endeavor, the ultimately, the supersoul. A question may be arised that since any activity performed must have some reaction, how is it that a person in Krishna consciousness does not suffer or enjoy the reaction suffered? The Lord is citing Vedanta philosophy to show how this is possible. He says that there are 5 causes for all activities and for success in all activity, and one should know these 5 causes. Sankhya means the stock of knowledge. The Vedanta is the final stock of knowledge accepted by all leading acharyas. Even Shankara accepts Vedanta Sutra as such. Therefore, such authority should be considered. The ultimate will is invested in the Supreme Soul, Super Soul. As it is stated in the Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi. He is engaging everyone in certain activities. Acts done under his direction from within yield no reaction, either in this life or in the life after death. The instruments of action are the senses, and by senses the soul acts in various ways, and for each and every action there is a different endeavor. But all one's activities depend on the will of the Super Soul, who is seated within the heart as a friend. The Supreme Lord is the super cause. Under these circumstances, he who is acting in Krishna consciousness under the direction of Super Soul situated within the heart is naturally not bound by any activity. Those in the complete Krishna consciousness are not ultimately responsible for their actions. Everything is dependent on the Supreme Will, the Super Soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 15 Translation. Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind or speech is caused by these 5 factors. The word right and wrong are very significant in this verse. Right work is work done in terms of a prescribed directions in the scriptures, and the wrong work is work done against the principles of the scriptural injunctions. But whatever is done requires these 5 factors for its complete performance. Text 16 Translation. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. A foolish person cannot understand that the Super Soul is sitting as a friend within and conducting his actions. Although the material causes are the place, the worker, the endeavor, and the senses, the final cause is the Supreme, the Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should not see not only the 4 material causes, but the Supreme efficient cause as well. One who does not see the Supreme thinks himself to be the instrument. Text 17 Translation. One who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, it is not the slayer. He is not the slayer, nor he bound by his actions. In this verse, Lord informs Arjuna that the desire not to fight arises from false ego. Arjuna thought himself to be the doer of action, but he does not consider the supreme sanction within and without. If one does not know that the super sanction is there, why should he act? But one who knows the instrument of work, himself as the worker, and the Supreme Lord as the Supreme Sanctioner, is perfect in doing everything. Such a person is never in illusion. Personal activity and responsibility arise from the false ego and godlessness, or a lack of Krishna consciousness. Anyone who is acting in Krishna consciousness under the direction of the Supreme Supersoul, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though killing does not kill, nor is he affected by the reaction of such killing. When a soldier kills under the command of the superior officer, he is not subject to be judged. But if a soldier kills in his own personal account, then he is certainly judged by the code of law. Text 18 translation. Knowledge, the object of the knowledge, and the knower are the three factors which motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer comprise the threefold basis of action. There are three kinds of impetus for daily work: knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower. The instrument of work, the work itself, and the worker are called the constituents of the work. Any work done by any human being has three elements. Before one acts, there is some impetus, which is called inspiration. Any solution arrived at before work is actualized is a subtle form of work. Then work takes the form of action. First, one has to undergo the psychological process of thinking, feeling, and willing, and that is called impetus. Actually, the faith to perform act is called knowledge. The inspiration to work is the same if it comes from the scripture or from the instruction of the spiritual master. When the inspiration is there and the work is there, then actual activity takes place by the help of the senses. The mind is the center of all senses, and the objective is work itself. These are the different phases of work as described in Bhagavad-Gita. The sum total of all activity is called accumulation of work. Text 19 translation. In accordance with the three modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge, action, and performers of actions. Listen as describe them. In the 14th chapter, the three divisions of modes of material nature were elaborately described. In that chapter, it was said that the mode of goodness is illuminating, the mode of passion materialistic, and the mode of ignorance conductive to laziness and indolence. All the modes of material nature are binding, they are not sources of liberation. Even in the mode of goodness, one is conditioned. In the 17th chapter, the different type of worship by different types of men, different modes of material natures were described. In this verse, the Lord wishes to speak about the different type of knowledge, workers, and work itself according to the three material modes. Text 20 translation. The knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all existences, undivided in the divided, is the knowledge in the mode of goodness. A person who sees one spirit soul in every living being, whether a demigod, human being, animal, bird, beast, aquatic, or a plant, possesses knowledge in the mode of goodness. In all living entities, one spirit soul is there, although they have different bodies in terms of their previous work. As described in 7th chapter, the manifestation of the living force is in every body is due to the superior nature of the Supreme Lord. Thus, to see that one superior nature, that living force, is everybody, is to see in the mode of goodness. That living energy is imperishable, although the bodies are perishable. The difference is perceived in terms of the body because that there are many forms of material existence and conditioned life, therefore they appear to be divided. Such impersonal knowledge finally leads to self-realization. Text 21 translation. The knowledge by which a different type of living entity is seen to be dwelling in different bodies is knowledge in the mode of passion. The concept that the material body is the living entity and that with the destruction of the body the conscious is also destroyed is called knowledge in the mode of passion. According to the knowledge, body differ from one another because of the development of the different type of consciousness. Otherwise, there is no separate soul which manifests consciousness. The body is itself the soul, and there is no separate soul beyond this body. According to such knowledge, consciousness is temporary, or else there are no individual souls, but there is an all-pervading soul, which is full of knowledge, and this body is a manifestation of temporary ignorance, or beyond this body there is no special individual or supreme soul. All such conceptions are considered as a product of mode of passion. Text 22 translation. And the knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all-in-all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager is said to be the mode of darkness. The knowledge of a common man is always in the mode of darkness or ignorance, because every living entity in conditioned life is born into the mode of ignorance. One who does not develop knowledge through the authorities or scriptural injection has knowledge that is limited to the body. He is not concerned about acting in terms of the directions of the scriptures. For him, God is money, and knowledge means the satisfaction of bodily demands. Such knowledge has no connection with absolute truth. It is more or less like a knowledge of the ordinary animals. The knowledge of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, such knowledge is described here as a product of the mode of darkness. In other words, knowledge concerning the spirit soul beyond this body is called knowledge of the mode of goodness, and knowledge producing many theories and doctrines by dint of mundane logic and mental speculation is the product of the mode of passion. A knowledge concerned with only keeping the body comfortable is also said to be the mode of ignorance. Which concludes the translation and text of 22. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Keep listening.